Hey, what's up everybody? It's the Splintersmith. Before I get started on this video, I just want to point out that the blank that we made did split. I lost like two of the sections, and you can see them in this picture. Those came off while I was cutting some of the excess away and cutting off that jig that we had. That just like they vibrated off just from the scroll saw. So I didn't even bother trying to reattach those. And then when I was drilling, it came apart again. I didn't get a picture of that, but it came apart again between the two, right in the middle, between the center section there. Since the hole was already drilled, I was able to kind of line that back up, and I glued that in place, and then just clamped it down really well. And I was able to turn it from then on. So if you're wondering why this isn't a larger pin, that's why. But based on what was left, I went ahead and I just made an editor pin with it, because that takes a pretty small blank, and I had some of those laying around. So that explanation out of the way, let's get started. As you can see, I've got the blank laying there on the bench. Now I'm just getting it put on the mandrel. So getting the I had new bushings, just a fun little thing for me. I've been using these same bushings forever. So those three, there's three black ones on the side there that I got to add in. The pin itself was this blank was really fun actually, because like there was again this weird unidentified green wood, and then the Padoke, which I've turned enough of that I'm familiar with it. But then in between was this the weird little like the wrapping paper stuff, and that was it just made fun shavings. You might have seen like a big chunk come off the front there. That's because the blank ended up being way longer than the tube for this particular pin, so I just kind of had to. I had a lot of wasted wood on one end that all came off. Unfortunately, I had meant to put it a little more central so that there would be sort of two big chunks in the middle and like two kind of narrower chunks on the outside, but super glue is less forgiving than I would like it to be. So when I didn't get it to the right depth on the first go, it was kind of no good after that. I didn't really have a very clear idea of the actual design of this pin. Really, I was just trying to make the blank. So I just kind of, this was sort of a freestyle situation. One thing I will say about that weird green wood is it was pretty soft. Like it was kind of easy to turn, and putting the file marks in there like I did was I want to say it was reminiscent of poplar, but I just don't think that that wood is poplar. I've never seen poplar that was green all the way through. So, but maybe it was. Anyway, here we go with the finishing aspects. Believe this was 220. I don't remember. This always is more or less the same. Oh, I had my trash can across the shop. Oh, you can see too that I'm wearing these gloves because it was cold as crap when I did this. So I've got a hoodie, I've got the latex gloves, which help more than you would think, and I've got that heater on the floor keeping my feet warm. So it's sort of a system. It's super. It's not as effective as I would like it to be, but it's better than freezing in a couple minutes, which is what was keeping me from going out there before. Like I'd be working and I'd have the heater kind of like up on the workbench and keep my hands warm, but then my toes would freeze. But at least with the gloves, it kind of lasts a little longer. Burnishing. I mean, for what it's worth, the pin itself looked really great when it was done. We'll see pictures of that in a little while, but it polished up really nicely. Just sanding the little finger grooves that I cut in with that file, and then polishing everything up. This has to be the 15,000 or 1500 or the 2000. Burnishing again, and then my lathe is loose. I need to straighten that up. Maybe it was just the camera was loose. All right, getting some super glue, which I had left across the shop by mistake. Getting it all worked in, and then cut it on, let it run. I think at this point I'm getting some other stuff together. Like the pin blank itself, or the pin kit itself rather. Oh no, I know what I was doing. I had a buddy across the ocean who was talking to me about stuff he was making for Christmas. So I was taking pictures. Doing a second coat of CA here. I'm letting it spin in hopes that it'll partially even it out. Alright, well, it's done there. There we go. And under all the sawdust, boom, pin's already ready. I've been playing with how to do somewhat interesting transitions, and that was just one idea. One thing that I found out was doing that kind of gets sawdust in all my little parts. I won't do that with anything complicated like a fountain pen. I'm glad that I tried it with an editor first, because they're extremely simple. I go to put this ink in. It doesn't quite fit because of all the sawdust that I had done in there, so I had to tap it out. Get that attached, and she's done. So next day I took a couple shots out in the driveway with some proper lighting. And there we go. There's one, and then from the other direction. I really like how it turned out with the grain and all that. So if you enjoyed the video, I appreciate it. Please remember to like and subscribe, and share this with your friends, and go check out another video. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.